So let's talk about slang for a minute, you guys. Slang can be a huge source of frustration when we're learning another language for many, many reasons, actually. So it's not typically something that we're taught in school or by a teacher or in a textbook. And it's not even something that we can usually find in most mainstream dictionaries. However, especially once we move to a different country, like for example, if you're actually living in North America, of course it's important to understand and to be able to use slang effectively and appropriately. So this is something that I actually hear about from many of my clients, is that slang makes them really uncomfortable. And it may be because they don't necessarily understand the exact context or nuance of the expression, or they may just not understand the expression at all. What I hear a lot too is that my clients fear that they might kind of commit a faux pas and say something that they think is okay, but if they say it to the wrong person, they fear that it might be too casual or that it might be offensive. And then obviously, given the nature of what I do, a lot of the time I hear from my clients that they're just not 100% sure how to pronounce a certain slang term, and all those reasons together make them use slang a lot less or not at all. And that's unfortunate, I think, because slang allows us to connect with people on a different level. We don't always want to sound like we're an academic, right? Sometimes we just want to be able to bro down and hang and use more informal speech depending on the situation. So in today's video, we are going to be going over 12 different slang expressions or words. And I'm going to, of course, talk about how these are pronounced, and I'm just going to really briefly touch on the context in which we'd use them. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Victoria, and I post all about American English. So if you are interested in learning about pronunciation, linking, stress, all the topics that fall under that American English umbrella, then please subscribe and be sure to hit that notification bell, and YouTube will let you know once I've posted new content. So let's dive right in here, guys. The first slang term that we're going to talk about is scoop. Scoop. So, if your friend just got off the phone with someone and the whole time they were saying, "Oh my gosh, seriously, seriously," you might say, "Okay, what's the scoop?" Or "Give me the scoop," right? So what's this crazy information? What is the news that you've just received? So to pronounce scoop, I think the most important part would be that vowel oo, oo. So make sure you're not putting in a pure oo vowel, otherwise it'll sound like scoop, scoop. So we don't want scoop, we want scoop, scoop, in which there's some diphthongization, so some movement of that oo vowel. Next up we have yikes. Yikes. This one, no joke, 95% of my clients, this word happens to occur in one of the practice sentences that I use, and almost everyone asks me about it. A lot of people think this is someone's name, but yikes is just like an exclamation of surprise. So, you can say it if you trip over something, like, "Yikes, whoops, I didn't see that." Or if you're just kind of generally surprised by something. So, "Oh, what's the date today? It's the 20th. Yikes, my credit card should have been paid by the 18th. I'll have to get right on that." Yikes. So this word, again, the real trick of yikes is how it's pronounced based on how it's written. It's not necessarily very obvious, but the vowel is I. I. So yikes. I is not a very popular vowel, but it also occurs in certain words like. So it's that really closed but still diphthongized I vowel. All right, our next one, we have heart. Heart. So not like the noun, I have a heart in my body, or this is a heart. This as a slang term can be used as a verb. So you might say to someone like, oh, I heart you, which means I like you a lot. I definitely wouldn't use this in any work environment. It's definitely something that's more like cutesy to be used among someone you're closer to. It's kind of like a friendly kind of teasing, but I wouldn't say it to someone you're not familiar with, nor would I use it at work. But heart, two things that kind of stick out for this word. The first is the vowel sound, and again, just pay attention to the spelling, right? Because the word is spelt H-E-A-R-T, and E-A-R is sometimes pronounced, as we know, as ear, but in this particular word, the sound is a complex R vowel. It's R, heart. Another thing I want you to notice is my T in this word. So especially if you're using this in a phrase, if I'm saying I heart you, then there's no release on that T, right? So I'm not saying I heart you, it's I heart with an unreleased T. Next up we have, sorry, my iPad was dead and my phone keeps sleeping. So next one we have clickbait. Clickbait. So if you see one of those articles that's like 90-year-old lady drinks glass of aloe vera, you'll never guess what happened next. That's probably clickbait, right? They want you to click on the article. They want you to think it's something insane. And usually, not always, but usually those articles don't quite live up to their titles. So for the pronunciation, of this one, obviously it's two words, click and bait. The stress is on which part? Clickbait. It's on the first part, and the vowel is that lax I vowel. Click, click. The second vowel is A. Clickbait, clickbait. Again, notice that the way I'm saying it right now, I'm not releasing that final T. It wouldn't be wrong to do so, but it's not necessary. So a lot of native English speakers from North America are just not going to release that T. Our next word is dolled up. Dolled up. So we had a really fun weekend with the girls. We got all dolled up and then we went out to dinner. So dolled up, which syllable is the strongest here? The second, right? Kind of like similar to a phrasal verb. What else? Dolled up has two vowel sounds and both are really important. So make sure the first letter O is becoming a low back ah vowel, doll. And then the next vowel is a sound. So make sure you're not saying a, it's really an a. The other thing is that it's a dark L in doll, right? So a dark L is an L in which you use the back of your tongue. So it's not doll, it's doll. Dolled up, dolled up. Our next one we have stoked. Man, I'm so excited to go skydiving. You could say, man, I'm stoked to go skydiving. So super, super, very, very excited. So two things that I want you to know for this word. The first is the ED ending, right? In stoked, stoked. The ED, there is no vowel sound on that E. So it's not stoked, it's stoked. So it goes right from a k to a t sound. The other thing is the vowel on the letter O is, of course, O. O. So again, we're rounding. Stoked. Stoked. Next up, we have killer. Killer. So not like a murder, right? Killer would mean, again, something like super awesome. Like, that was a killer presentation you just did. It blew my mind. So for killer, make sure that your first strongest vowel is, again, that lax I sound, ki, ki. And then lure, lure. So on your ER, that's one vowel sound, right? So some of my clients, when they see ER, they have a tendency to say air or something similar, but it's really just killer, killer. Next up, we have AC, AC. This one I think is pretty commonly used, but I think it's one of those things that if we're learning English, we might have a tendency to say air conditioning. Like I went to buy an air conditioning unit, which is absolutely fine to do, but colloquially, a lot of people are just going to say AC, AC. So the real important thing about AC is that both of your vowels have some movement. So A, E, there's a Y kind of quality to the end of both of those vowels. And I want you to keep in mind that the strongest syllable has to be the second. AC, AC. Next up, blast, blast. We had a blast at the party yesterday. We had an awesome, really fun time. So the most important part in blast is that you really make your A vowel tense enough. So it's not a clean, pure A vowel. I wouldn't say I had a blast yesterday. I had a blast. So I'm really tensing that A for it to get that really specific North American English quality. Our next word is Z's. Z's. So, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go catch some Z's. This one, not super common, but you'll definitely hear it around, right? So it means I'm gonna catch some Z's. I wanna go have a nap. I wanna go to sleep. And for the pronunciation of Z's, usually it'll be spelled like Z apostrophe S, but that final S, in fact, makes another Z sound. So think about it as Z, E, like a tense IY, and then another Z at the end. Z's, Z's. Next up, we have code monkey. Code monkey. So code monkey is really commonly used to refer in like a cute way to someone who does coding, who's like a programmer. So for code monkey, it's two words, but listen and tell me which word is stronger. Code monkey. The first, right? The sound that letter O makes is O. And listen to the linking between the two words. Code monkey. Code monkey. So you don't hear a strong release on that D, right? I'm not saying a code monkey. That would sound a bit cluttery. And then the final thing in this phrase is the vowel in monkey. Monkey. Really make sure that it's that really kind of schwa-like vowel. So it's not an A, it's not an O, it's a. Code ma. Code monkey. A code monkey. And then the last one here is VACAY. VACAY. I hope you have an awesome VACAY. So this is obviously an abbreviation for vacation, but it's really, really common to hear VACAY instead. So the vowel A on both syllables, VA and K. And the other thing to note is that the strongest syllable is, of course, the first. So that is all for today's video, you guys. I do hope that you found it helpful. If so, please like, please share with your friends, and I'll see you next time. Bye.